If you got big rubber on your truck, 24 5s, and you lowering the landing gear and trying to push the damn thing through the damn ground, somebody gonna do something to you one day. One of us drivers with low pro with 22 5s on our truck gonna do something to you. I'm trying to tell you right now. Look at this, man. This is ridiculous. Look how far I gotta lower the trailer down. And sometimes some of these trailers, as y'all know, the landing gears don't work right to get up under the truck. Like, come on, man. Jesus Christ. Stop lowering the landing gear so high. And conversely, if you got low pro, if you got 22 5s, make sure you're not lowering the trailer too low. Because somebody with big rubber that don't have the ability to raise and lower their frame, like me, they still won't be able to get under the trailer. Like, come on, drivers. We got to do better than this, okay? We got to start looking out for each other. All of us complaining about the profession, not realizing that we the ones that's f***ing it up. Jesus, Lord have mercy. This is some bull right here.
Woo! Good day. You know, one of the questions that I get the most on my YouTube channel has to do with being a local owner-operator, and people asking me, how do they find work? How do they find local companies? And whenever somebody asks me that question, I'm always a little bit hesitant to answer the question, because to me, the answer is really, really simple. Ain't but one way to find anything in trucking, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what that is that you're looking for. Right now, I'm just blowing out my radiator. My truck was running a little bit warmer than I'm used to today. But that's what I want to talk briefly about in this video. And I'm also going to give my 2 cents on what I feel is the most valuable resource that an owner-operator can have. Actually, any truck driver, whether they're an owner-operator or not. So again, the answer is really, really simple. I almost feel kind of silly for even making this video, right? Like I said in my last video, sometimes things to you can be very simple. Things to you could be like, it's like, you know, like you think everybody knows something, but then you find out that everybody doesn't. But this one right here is something I definitely think that everybody knows, right? So first, how I find local companies, local work. I've been driving a truck now for 8 years. I've been an owner operator for 3 years. And ever since I've been in trucking, I've never done OTR. I've never done regional. I've only done local work, get home every day type of work, not city work, not like city delivery with like 15 and 20 and 30 stops, not that type of local work. But, you know, like I'm pulling a flatbed right now. I've hauled wood chips in the past. I pulled a van for a while, hauled around pallets. I did flatbed before when we hauled mulch out of Harvest Garden. The name of the place now is Grant County. They're up near Kings Dominion. I think the main thing that keeps me in this type of work is that's all I've been exposed to. Okay, that's part one of the really, really simple answer. Exposure is key in trucking and anything that you do. You will tend to see and be exposed to what you've already been exposed to. If all you've ever done is OTR and regional work, then it'll probably be really, really difficult for you to make the transition to local, because that's all you've done. If the people that you know and the people that you associate with, if that's all they do is OTR work and regional work, it's probably going to be really difficult for you to make the transition to local work, because you haven't been exposed to anybody that does it. Being exposed to a thing is what makes it possible in our brain. It's what makes it possible in our mind. Once our mind is exposed to something and realizes that something is possible, that something can happen, automatically our mind will start to look more for that thing. That's the reason why, like, you could want to buy a new car and you never see that car on the interstate. And then when you go to buy the new car, all of a sudden you see it all over the interstate. You see it everywhere. It's like, darn, everybody went and bought the same kind of car that I did, but that's not really what happened. Those cars were there all the time. Your brain just wasn't looking for it. That's just how the brain works. So the first part is exposure, right? Now, I'm gonna come back to that in a second. So like every piece of work that I've ever done in this truck has been as a result of somebody pointing me in the direction, word of mouth. And like when it comes to trucking, like you don't want, I wouldn't say you want to just trust anybody's word, right? Because people say stuff all the time. Oh, we making good money over here. And then you go over there and find out it ain't as good as they said that it is. So it's got to be word of mouth from somebody that you trust. The flatbed work that I'm doing right now, somebody close to me told me about it. I was doing the chip work. That person knew my situation, meaning they knew what I was doing. They knew what I liked to do. They knew how I wanted to run. They knew what I felt like I was missing in what I was doing. I was tempted not to do it, right? But because the person knows me, knows my situation, knows my circumstance, I went on over there, and I'm glad that I made the move. The way that I got on to the last job that this truck was on, which was hauling wood chips, was through somebody that's close to me, somebody that's in my network. We were approaching this guy that had work in the area, a lot of work. We were approaching him with trying to get on, me and my dad, me and my pop. And he kept telling us, you know, he didn't need a truck. He didn't need a truck. So we talked to somebody that worked there as a driver and kept talking to them. And then one day they were like, hey, there's some work coming down the pike. I think now's a good time for you to approach him. We went and approached him, and he told us, come on, I need a truck. And we were in there just like that, not a problem, right? So, but every piece of work that I've ever found in this truck since I've been the owner, or my dad has found when he was the owner of the truck and I drove for him, it was all as a result of word of mouth. It was all as a result of basically, you could say, tapping into our network, tapping into your network. I've told people, I've said that many, many times on these videos, like in trucking, like nowhere else is it more true than in trucking. Your network is your net worth. People get into trucking all of the time as owners, as business owners, as owner operators, without a network, without any connections. I wouldn't tell a person not to get in trucking if you don't have any connections, but if you don't have any connections and you get into trucking as an owner or any business as an owner, like lickety split, you need to be making connections, which actually brings me to the last part of what I want to talk about in this video, what I think is the most valuable resource that anybody in trucking, a driver or an owner, can have: somebody looking out for you. That is the most valuable resource, having people in your corner looking out for you. And this is big because, you know, I know truck drivers that don't do a very good job of nourishing relationships. When you got somebody in your corner that's looking out for you or that wants to see you do well, that's a relationship that you have to find a way to nurture and to take care of. You got to do right by that person. If they need something, you want to be there to help them. A lot of the times it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that is very, very true in trucking. Like everybody will be having to go through the front door doing a certain thing. And because you know the right people or you know the right person, you'll be able to bypass that whole process and come in through the back door just because you know somebody, just because you have an inside connect. A lot of us as truckers, as people in general, we will, pardon my language, we'll shit on somebody if we don't think they can help us, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to have a good reputation. A lot of deals in trucking go down because of what somebody has to say about you. There's a lot of people in trucking that want to help people, that want to help truck drivers, but don't nobody want to help somebody that ain't gonna do the right thing. Nobody wants to do that, right? So if you're known as an individual that's shitting on people or don't, you know, look out for people or always trying to get over on people, or you think everything is a zero-sum game, meaning somebody has to win and somebody has to lose, and it damn sure ain't gonna be you that lose, so somebody else gonna have to lose. If that's you, then like you could be talking to somebody, trying to make a deal, trying to put the stamp on an opportunity, right? Trying to close an opportunity, trying to buy a truck or buy a trailer or get somebody to look out for you on something. And they'll, you know, it's like, okay, you know, we'll follow up again next week. And as soon as you walk away, they're going to talk to somebody else. Hey, do you know that guy? Do you know him? And if that guy ain't got nothing good to say about you, then you won't be able to put the opportunity together, right? So like all of this is a part of successful networking and successfully nourishing valuable relationships. I personally think that is the most valuable skill that a person in our profession can have, the ability to create the right relationships and nourish the right relationships and cause people to want to look out for you.